I'm back for another video. My name is Josh Kasich, and today, this is my Avatar: The Last Airbender review. So, I think last month, it's been a while. I think it might be the beginning of the month, but some time ago, November, I think, I bought this little puppy for about $40, I think it was, and it has the complete series of Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra, the sequel series, following a new Avatar. And my dad has never seen Avatar. I don't know, some reason on Nick or whatever, during a time he kind of decided he's just going to ban Nick for whatever reason. And so he never got to see it. And Avatar is a really good series. It's beautifully animated, really good writing. And my uncle, his older brother, even told him that you missed out on that one. So I bought it so that he could finally watch the series. So today I'm just doing my Avatar: The Last Airbender review, and then I'll have another video to talk about my review for Korra. So for Avatar, there's 3 seasons because he already is really skilled as an airbender. I mean, he's the last airbender. So he has to learn the other elements. And there's, you have air, fire, water, and earth. So all of those, he has air, so he needs to learn how to use the fire, earth, and water. So the first book is water, the second book is earth, and the last book is fire. Which kind of makes sense because the Fire Nation is the enemies of this series. About 100 years ago, the Fire Nation decided that they wanted to take over the world. So they started a war that's been going on for 100 years later, when this show takes place. And they wanted to kill the Avatar before, it could stop them. So they knew after the original Avatar that was a firebender first, because he was part of the Fire Nation, and it's a sequence or a pattern. So the one falling after the fire Avatar, after he passed away, we found out later he was actually kind of killed or let to die by his friend, who is actually who was the leader of the Fire Nation who started the war. And he let his friend die because he really wanted to take over the world. So he put that over saving his friend. But that's it. So basically, the next person in line after him would be a airbender. So they, went after the airbenders and killed all of them except for the one, Avatar Aang. Avatar Aang actually escaped because he didn't want to be Avatar. He didn't want to lose his friends. He didn't want all this, so he escaped, and he accidentally went into a storm and fell into the water with his flying bison named Appa. And with the Avatar state, he froze himself in a icicle thing, and that went underwater, so he would live for 100 years, but also not age for those 100 years. And then he was found by Katara and her brother Sokka. So now Aang actually ends up with Katara at the end of the series. But the Fire Nation was the enemy, and they were always trying to go after the Avatar. And one person in particular was the son of the current Fire Lord. The son was Zuko, and he was banished because he spoke out of turn during a war meeting, and he had to battle his father, and he refused to do so. And his father even gave him a scar on this side of his face. So, and that basically he was banished to find the Avatar. So the only way he could come back is if he found the Avatar. So he's chasing, but he with his uncle, and now his uncle is actually a really nice man. In fact, he's pretty much a good guy. He's totally against everything his brother is doing, but which is pretty cool. And he kind of, over time, although it took some time, he finally got to Zuko's heart that he's not his father. He's a nice person. He's like his mother. His mother is actually the granddaughter of the Avatar that came before Aang, which is actually pretty cool. And what's another interesting thing is that she was banished like her son because, well, her husband, Zuko's father, wanted to become Fire Lord, but he's the youngest, so obviously his brother would have become the Fire Lord. Yet his brother was actually losing a war to take over Ba Sing Se, the main Earth kingdom, like the main, kingdom of the. There's kind of other kingdoms and towns and stuff. The Earth Kingdom, like I said, it's like the main one, and so he failed. And what happened was that his son died as well in this war. So basically, the brother wanted to basically take the position from his older brother, but the grandfather or his father was mad and also ordered him to execute Zuko because Zuko actually talked out of turn, or not this, basically was trying to show off in front of his grandfather when they were kind of having like a special meeting to also show that his sister, Zuko's sister, is actually much more talented and, well, pretty much like a daddy's girl. She's just pretty much as cruel and evil or whatever as her father. Unlike Zuko, who really takes off after his mother. And it took a while for him to realize that, or not particularly realize that he's like his mother, but that he's a nice person. And so that's kind of the whole point of the story, is that then basically the reason why the mother was banished is because she knows poisons and all that stuff, kind of, and so she offered her husband this poison to kill his father so he could become the Fire Lord, which would happen, and so that the current Fire Lord wouldn't so he wouldn't be killed by the same way he banished his wife, so that she would never use that on him. And so that was kind of how that's how it kind of happened with the story. We don't really know what happened to her mother, happened to his mother. I think it's in the comic books. I haven't really read those, or not. I'm not sure comic books or novels or whatever that plus go along with the show. Other than that, that's kind of the story. Zuko's chasing him, and there's a lot of events going on. But obviously, Avatar eventually, well, let's say they became friends. Okay, so Zuko and the Avatar become friends. Zuko trains Aang to learn firebending, and then he goes to battle the Fire Lord on his final attack on his final attack. So, but Aang decides to, because he's an airbender, and they're not about fighting. That's not their way of life. So instead of, killing the Fire Lord, he actually learns how to take his bending away, and that's what he did. And so the Fire Lord no longer had bending, and that's kind of how the series. Then Zuko becomes the new Fire Lord, and they work together to rebuild everything that the Fire Nation destroyed as well. And the final ending, now this is great writing. This is how you end the show, okay? Like, this is perfectly how you end a show. Aang and Katara kiss. At the end, in the sun going down, it was is just a beautiful ending scene. That is how you end a show, okay? I'm just saying, like, it was just perfect. And this is one of the shows that isn't, like, afraid of the violence, the deaths, even, like, is not even afraid of, like, kind of kissing either. There's, like, a lot of kiss moments. It's just, this is, I mean, yes, it's more of a teenager show. I think that's kind of the way it's designed, but it's even like Naruto, I would consider even that kind of teenage too, is so boggled by the when they have the love interest is that they're too afraid to do it because kids, and this is the type of show that proves that no, it's okay to have kissing. It's stop doing that. But yeah, really good show, really good writing, and I definitely highly recommend Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you have not seen it, it is a fantastic show. If I have to give it a 1 out of 10, I would definitely give it a 10. I really enjoyed it. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. If you are new, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified from my next upload. My YouTube channel, website, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Snapchat are all in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.